The Lopes might be heavy underdogs coming into this one, but I'll tell you what, the fan base from Phoenix has made the trip all the way out here to Ball Arena in Denver. Do you guys like being the underdogs? Are you ready?
At GCU, I mean, the environment is all built around basketball. Our administration and our staff has really poured into our basketball program being our big thing at GCU. Our students bought in. We have a lot of positive energy just around our basketball program, and that's what we really build our community around. It's the biggest event at GCU, and we love our basketball.
Traveling to follow your favorite team is one thing, but the attires that these GCU Lopes bring out to every event that they attend is why this fan base stands out on the map.
Super fun to just get all decked out. I actually made these overalls my shoes just kind of for fun a few years back, and now I love wearing them for like the most exciting games, and this is a big one.
Regardless of the final score tonight, the Lopes certainly may have won in the fan contest. It seems to be Phoenix natives everywhere you look here outside Ball Arena, and they'll certainly need it with GCU trying to play underdog and pull off the upset against a very stout Gonzaga team. Reporting in Denver, Matt Venezia, Cronkite News. Between upsets and buzzer beaters, March Madness always delivers. Hello everyone and welcome inside the Cronkite News studio here in downtown Phoenix for another edition of our Friday show of Cronkite News. I'm Matt Venezia. I'm going to take you back 25 years ago to one of the greatest moments in NCAA tournament history. But before that, we're going to hear from Noelle Blumel as she examines one of the remaining Final Four teams and its unique ties to the Valley. March Madness is known for its buzzer beaters. When we look back in history, Christian Laettner sent Duke to the Final Four, or Chris Jenkins winning the national title for Villanova. I got one for you. Bryce Drew, 25 years ago, created a Cinderella story for Valparaiso as Valpo upset Ole Miss. At the time, Bryce Drew's dad, Homer, was the head coach for Valpo. Now Bryce is right up the road here in Phoenix as the head coach for GCU. I had the chance to sit down with the father-son duo to relive the iconic moment known simply as the shot. The shot heard around basketball. Does it still give you chills after all these years?
Chills, no. Chills during the shot, yes. As it was arched up high, it looked, Matt, like it was going to be short. And so I think that all the prayers in the building just kind of lifted it over. Because if you watch the rim, it kind of hits the top of the rim and then goes right on in. And so now, when we see it, I just get a smile because I know the ball's going to go in.
I remember I was standing right on the right side of the court over there while the first free throw was getting ready to go. The play that happened was really a blur. I thought the ball was short. When it's short, you kind of jump to try to give it that extra umph, and so I felt like I was going to be short. It skimmed the rim, went in, and then I don't even remember diving on the floor. I don't remember anything to basically being on the floor.
2.5 seconds left on the clock. Free throws at the line. The first one is missed by Ole Miss. You call timeout. Can you take us inside the huddle in terms of what was being drawn up?
We just went through the possibilities of what might happen if he makes, if he misses, what are our options, and are we all prepared to do it? So it was really just a quick review, and with the hopefulness that he would miss it and we would get a chance to make a tie. And
you could hear in the video of the shot, pacer, pacer. The play was being yelled out. Where did that originate from? When he missed the shot, the players looked over and they just yelled pacer, and that was the name of the play that we use for game-ending situations. I felt wonderful because they didn't need a coach. They knew exactly what to do.
Bill Jenkins threw three for the win! Go! Oh my! Oh my! Wow. Wins!
And Bryce, 25 years later, every time March Madness rolls around, you're still hearing about the shot. How does it feel to still be brought up in terms of one of the greatest moments in March Madness history?
It's a special blessing, you know, basketball family. My brother coaches at Baylor now on the national championship. So we've been, you know, our lives, a lot have been, our schedules are entertained and around the NCAA tournament. So for have that moment in the tournament for something that we've dreamt of our whole life is very special, and now get to see the highlight years later, you know, makes it even more special.
And on top of that, I mean, after all these years now, to share it in a father-son relationship, what was that like, being on the floor and seeing your dad and having that moment together?
You know, we've always had a really close relationship. It's part of the reason why I went to play for him, you know, at Valpo. And at the time, it was very special, but as you've gotten older, and now I have a son who's 8, it's even more special to me. I remember at the time I got a lot of messages from people, you know, from fathers and sons, and comparing our relationship and theirs, and I understood it, but after having my own son, I think I understand it at a different level, just how special it was.
Now, it was really special to me, but older brother Scott says, if you don't go and play for Dad, no more meals at home, no more cars, So I think Scott put the pressure on him to come. But it was a joy for me for 4 years to have him.
70-69, the kid performs another miracle.
And one other thing about that Pacer play, Noel, Homer tells us that was the best execution of the play they had ever run, including in practice where they barely even had a defense guarding it. The Suns host the Denver Nuggets tonight at Footprint Center, and with 6 games left in the regular season, we'll see if the Suns can build on these games going into the postseason. They'll still see the Nuggets one more time after this game and see if they can use that momentum with Kevin Durant now back in the lineup heading into the postseason. Our Noel Blumel sat down with Tom Leander, the Suns TV host, to get some of the answers involving the Suns and the postseason. As did Zach Gallen and Ketel Marte. Things are looking up for the Diamondbacks, who open the season with a 4-game set against the Dodgers in LA. Then they'll go down south to San Diego to see the Padres before coming home April 6th for their home opener. Baseball players are very superstitious, and their pregame rituals can run the gamut from the mundane to the unusual. Logan Webb of the San Francisco Giants leans more towards the unusual, and our Jackson Webster gets a taste of the pitcher's pregame routine. Peach, yeah, I think I could get behind Peach as well. I gave that one a 9 on the rating.
Yeah, and I'm with him on the coconut. That's not really my style either, but the OG seems to work for him. All right, that's all the time we have for this Friday edition of Cronkite News. I'm Noel Blumel.
And I'm Matt Venezia. Thank you for joining us. The WM Phoenix Open is home to the loudest hole in all of golf. The 163-yard par 3 16th is where normal golf etiquette gets forgotten.
I would call it unmatched energy. You can't really find this. You go to a football game, yeah, it's great and all, but you think of golf, you think of something that's typically boring for the average person, and then you come to something like this, and you really experience something new.
People travel from all over the world for this specific weekend to boo golfers at the 16th hole when they miss the green and cheer for them like they just witnessed a touchdown when they get on the green from their tee shot. And it's the most unique hole for that reason in all of golf.
The screaming, the shouting right when they're walking out, it's booing, it's yelling, it's beer getting thrown everywhere. You kind of have to shield your head.
The course handicap says 16 is the second easiest hole on the golf course. Saying it's just one of the 18 holes on the scorecard is much easier said than done.
The atmosphere and the consequences obviously make it fairly challenging. So it's very rewarding when you hit a good shot and you can walk out of there with 2 or 3. And they'll let you know if you did something wrong. The greatest show on grass didn't always have its iconic look. Over the years of exciting moments at 16, the 2023 version of this hole is proof that it's come a long way.
When this started, they had a small crowd that would show up, and it's grown over the years. We've had no stadium or coliseum, as you would call it, and it's grown into this thing that's 3 stories tall.
The PGA Tour has explored options for other tournaments to catch on to the ways of 16, but right now this par 3 remains in a league of its own.
Places try and do some stuff to get the energy up and get some stands and crowds around a certain hole or area, but this event's kind of special in its own way.
With 2023 in the books, fans will have to wait and see what next year has in store. In Scottsdale, Matt Venezia, Cronkite News. Good job getting out of that pressure, and Ryan McGuire can cleanly break it out, and then another big hit as Shane was sent down. Ty Jackson dumped off looking for his brother Dylan. Semick poked it down low, and this can be picked up and steered away here by Nick Anderson, who's got ice ahead of him here, but it's cleanly not broken out. Jackson with the intercept, dumped off to Dylan for a shot, and it was blocked and never got on net. Levi Glassman stepping on the accelerator, not going far. The Raiders are offside, so the Sun Devils can cleanly now have an opportunity to break this one out. It's one touched in by O'Reilly. PJ Garrett steered it all the way around, but Glassman was there to intercept it for the Raiders. 2.5 to go in the opening period here at Mullet Arena, the first ever men's hockey game here in this building after many seasons right down the road in Scottsdale at Oceanside Ice Arena. Lager back out there for ASU, the first time he's brought up here on the broadcast. Jack Judson in there to try and break it out. And again, the Raiders just barely able to muster up an effort to clear the zone, but the Sun Devils come right back in. O'Reilly on the backhand, and it was behind the intended target. Murchison trying to get it to Mastro Simone, and now he picks it up cleanly. Ty Murchison smartly backhands it in, where Mastro Simone can maybe start the cycle here. Doing it himself, though, for a shot, and it catches the plexiglass behind Geilander. Lovell rotating it by himself here, looking for some help. Wrist shot on, and we can catch our breath up here as Geilander has that one corralled, and he'll freeze it.
Bit of a track meet there back and forth as Colgate just not really able to keep control of the puck at all. The Sun Devils doing a terrific job, and specifically it's that third line and second line for ASU doing a really good job just keeping the puck off Colgate's sticks coming through the neutral zone. The Raiders haven't really been able to complete passes the way they'd like to, at least not at the percentage they'd like to. So far for Arizona State, good coverage through the neutral zone here coming down at the end of the first period.
Face-off won by the Sun Devils. It was behind Josh Doan, who can just get one hand on the stick to keep it in behind the net of Geilander. Robert Mastro Simone to the point where Sillinger was protecting all alone in front with Schmaggy, and it didn't get to him cleanly. Off the glass and out. This could be an icing. It's waved off because of the hustle done there very well on the skate by Ben Raymond. Niedermeyer kicks it along the half wall, and Sillinger should cleanly get it out, and he does. Doan trying to extend the play. He throws a check there, does Josh Doan. And off the boards here, Lucas Sillinger. Nice feed over the middle. Doan's in, and a save by Geilander. He cleans it up and scores. The first goal at Mullet Arena. Doan makes it 1-0.
Josh Doan, welcome to Mullet Arena. Heck of a goal there, and it's a Josh Doan-esque finish, Matt. It wasn't done on the first time, it was done the second time as he put in the effort to work his way right around the goalie, tuck that one home for the first goal here at Mullet Arena. And man, look at the student section. They are absolutely fired up. 9-4-2 crew, happy they were able to get that first goal here in the first period of men's ice hockey at Mullet Arena.
I bet a lot of people would have said that number 91 in white would have the first goal here for the Sun Devils in this building. Beautiful on the extension for Doan to come in on the breakaway. Late here in the first period, ASU grabs the first goal.